am Jayson Waller here with Jayson Waller Unleashed. That's right, top 5 podcast, entrepreneur podcast. Go get your popcorn, have fun, watch the fucking show happen podcast. We've got it all. It's Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, Instagram, YouTube. I don't give a shit. Wherever you want to follow us and watch us, you can go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you click it. You are going to get some gems today. So, I want to talk about a couple things. I've still got my my homie here, Zara, and I got my other homie over there, Zog. They come from planet I don't know, and one likes Arby's, one likes walks on the beach. I want to keep talking about them because I do believe in aliens, and I believe that it's important that we know there's aliens there. These two, they whisper to me when people are gone. If you don't believe me, that's on you, but that's what happens. So, the last time I was in here, I was talking about devastating loss, the power home, Pink Energy closure, Generac, things like that. Today we're going to talk about scared money don't make money and don't be held hostage. What's that mean? What's scared money don't make money? I know you've heard it on a rap song, but what's it mean here to Jayson Waller and Jayson Waller Unleashed? What's it mean to the BAM fam, right? What is scared money don't make money? Well, think about this. My dad is a blue-collar dude. Right? I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona, Glendale, Arizona, actually. And I didn't live in the nice neighborhood. I lived in the broke neighborhood next to the nice neighborhood. And my dad, he went to work every day at a corning plant building fiber from 2 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. And my mom worked at a bakery decorating cakes from 7:30 a.m. to about 4:30 p.m. And therefore, I came home with my brother and sister and had to help take care of them until my mom came home and she'd bust our balls and bust our ass because the bathroom was messy or we didn't vacuum the floors or what have you. But I watched my parents work their ass off. And that wasn't, listen, nobody's childhood was perfect. And, when I lived in it, I didn't think it was abuse. I look at it now and go, holy shit, they were pretty rough on us. But I appreciate that because it allows me to be who I am. Makes me not quit, makes me have perseverance, makes me, make sure I'm able to overcome things. I've got courage, stuff like that. But going back to scared money don't make money. My dad had a good friend that owned a video store called Video Power Store. That's right. Back when Blockbuster and all that was starting to bang, dude. And for you youngsters out there don't know, they didn't just have shit on iPhones, okay? They didn't have a YouTube internet channel. You wanted to watch a flick, a movie, it came out on Tuesdays. It came out in the movie theater on Fridays, came out on VHS, and then eventually DVD on Tuesdays. And back when it was VHS, I was 14 years old. I was working at Video Power Store because my dad's best friend owned like 30 of them, and I was putting away movies all the time. And I'd play Rocky IV when I worked. I'd go to school, get back from school, I'd get up, I'd go to school, I'd get back from school, I'd go to work for 3 or 4 hours, putting away movies, checking in movies, Please Be Kind, Rewind, all of that stuff, right? And it was dope. Rocky IV, Secret to Success, all the cool 80 movies and early 90s movies. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all that. You had, what's his name on there? Ice Ice Baby, Vanilla Ice. And I remember my dad working at AT&T and they were going to transfer him. They were going to close the plant. And I remember eavesdropping. I talk about it in my book. My parents having a conversation. And my dad's like, look, his name's Mike Roberts. His friend, late Mike Roberts, said, Mike's willing to open up a video store for me. Or not a video store, open up a sub shop next to one of his video stores for me. Sherry, why don't we do this? And my mom's like, well, and he's like, and he's willing to open a bakery next to that. So the smells of the bakery and the cakes and the cookies and the smells of the sub factory sandwich shop going into the movie store, it's just like, wow, you go get your movies, then you're going to go get your sandwiches, you're going to go get your cookies. I mean, it sounded good. I mean, shit, I was 14. I didn't know what business was, but I was like, oh. And I heard them kind of wanting to do it, but my dad was like, no, Jeremy's got asthma, Jesse's got asthma. I've got, 10 more years I can retire from AT&T. We've got benefits, I'm just not going to do it. So he chose not to, and they transferred us. Now, looking back, I'm glad they transferred us because, transferred him because I met my wife and lived in North Carolina and et cetera, et cetera. But at the moment, I was pissed. I hated life. I was like, we're leaving? Like, I love my friends in Arizona. What are we doing? And we just finished 8th grade, getting ready to start 9th grade. It was the summer of 8th grade. And I moved to North Carolina, and I don't fit in. I'm struggling, and it was just hard. And I remember how hard my dad had to work. So when he moved to North Carolina, he started to work third shift a lot of times. And then it went back to second shift. And he would deliver papers at night. I'd help him. My mom was working at a bakery still. And, she eventually started working at AT&T as well as a Bill Print Center, but she started working at this bakery. And I remember my mom would play gin rummy with us. For those that don't know, again, before they had all these video games, we'd play cards. We lived in the trailer park, be raining out, whatever. We'd have some friends over from the trailer and neighborhood, and we'd be playing spades or gin rummy. We were there with this guy, CJ. I don't remember his full name. And my late friend, Benji. And we were sitting there. And I remember my mom said, "What are you going to do when you grow up?" And I remember just how frustrated I was in that moment. People making fun of me for having fake Tommy Hilfigers. People making fun of me for having fake gold necklaces. And those are what my parents bought me. I didn't know any better. Like, we went to a flea market. They got it to me. I thought it was cool. People were talking shit to me. I didn't fit in. I didn't grow up with all these hillbillies eating their Chewbacca and riding their fucking John Deere and their fucking straw in their mouth and their hat and their overalls and fucking their third cousins. All of that. I didn't fit in with those guys. I also didn't fit in with the black people. Black people kept to their own. They didn't like me. I was kind of like all my friends. Most of my friends were Hispanic. West Side, Vatos Locos, Forever, SA. Those were my homies back in Arizona. So I just struggled to fit in. I fit in with some of the people from the trailer park. And I was sitting there and I told my mom, I said, "Look, Dad plays it safe. He plays it to not win. When I see a unicorn coming by, Mom, I'm jumping on it. I'm playing to win. I want to make a lot of money, drive around to Winnebago, says, play it for life, and chase honeys." That's what I said. I was 14 years old, right? Didn't know any better. But that was a moment in life that I realized when my mom asked me that question, it hit me. What do I want to be when I grow up? What am I going to do? Sometimes you see your parents and you go, "That's what I want to do." And sometimes you see your parents, you go, "That's what I don't want to do." And it's really perception. And it's really how you take it in and what you do with it. I'm proud of my dad and mom. They worked their butts off. Blue collared, hardest working people I've ever met. I got my work ethic from them. Absolutely my mom. Got my hot temper from my dad. But my work ethic from my mom. And my dad's a hard worker too. Like, he gets shit done. He's not lazy. But in that moment, I think that was one of the first moments in life that I realized I wanted to be something different than them. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be what your parents are, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to be different. It is your choice, and that's your map. That's your journey. But I realized that my dad's character was to play it safe and to play to not lose. And I knew that I was a little different. And at 14 years old, I realized I wanted to play to win. That I wanted to be a winner. That I didn't want my girlfriend's parents talking shit about me living in a trailer saying I looked like Barney Rubble in the Flintstones. And I didn't want people at school to make fun of me because I lived in the trailer park at Southbrook and Concord. And I didn't want to be treated like the way I was treated. I didn't like it. And I'm sure a lot of you out there, you don't like it. You don't like how you're being treated. And it's crazy. I just did a podcast earlier today. I was on a show earlier. And they were talking about, when you were young, you were kind of bullied because you were broke, and that's true. But my kids have been bullied because we've been rich, we've been wealthy, we've done big things in life. I've earned a living, and my kids have been bullied because they have nice things. It's just crazy that when you're irrelevant, when you don't matter, you just slide in like a sheep. You just don't matter. But when you matter, whether you got money or you don't, you're on one side of the spectrum. When people are looking, you're going to have haters. You're going to have bullies. You're going to have people try to dictate your life because they either don't like what you have or don't like that you don't have it and don't give a shit. It's just how people are. And not all, but a lot of them. A lot of them just feel entitled. A lot of them are so insecure in life that they have to tear others down and they judge their inadequacies based on other people's success or failures. And it's fucked up. It's sad. So back to what I was saying, scared money don't make money. So at that decision in life, when I saw my mom ass, I felt like, okay, I got to learn to bet on myself. And so you fast forward, I'm getting a cool job at Wachovia Bank / First Union. Filled out a resume that said I had a 2-year degree and I didn't. I had a fake ID at the time. said I had sales experience. I really didn't. And I got this job, and I was their top salesperson in training before we even went permanent. And HR kind of found out that I was messing around on my resume, and they asked me questions, and I was like, oh, I was quick on my feet. Did you look up William or look up Jayson? And that bought me a few more weeks, and then I got on the floor, and I was the top rep. I'm talking out of like 200 people. I was their top rep. I was 19 years old. I shouldn't have had this job, and I was crushing it. I was making like 65, 70 grand a year at 97. At like, no, it was 98 and like 19 years old. And my manager brought me in and was like, hey, did you have a 2 degree? And I said, no. And he said, why would you lie? And I said, well, I wouldn't have got the job if I didn't. Now, I'm not advising anybody to do this because remember, in 97, they didn't have internet. You had to go make copies, 5-cent copy machine at the gas station. Some of you guys are listening, laughing like, holy shit, I remember that. Like, you could white out shit. Like, it was different. Okay, so don't try this shit at home. But I felt like, hey, what the hell? Like, I'm going to bet on me. I feel like I'm qualified for the job, regardless if I went to school. I couldn't afford to go to school. I was a kid on the way, or just had my daughter. I was like, look, I'm going to get this job. I interviewed well. I got it. And then when I'm the top person, I won an award 6-8 weeks in. Manager's like, hey, did you go to college? I said, no. And he said, why would you lie? I said, well, if I would have filled out the application truthfully, I'd have never got the shot to interview. I'd have never got the job. You'd have never been manager of the month. I'd have never been rep of the month. And they let me stay. They let me keep my job even though I didn't go to college. They let me keep it. They didn't terminate me. They said, we're going to let this one go. Now, I'm not saying you're supposed to do that. What I'm saying is a scared money don't make money. And I bet on myself and I took a chance. It was a big chance and I got it. Let me give you another token of that. So I'm working at Verizon Wireless / Bell Atlantic several years later. I'm one of their top people in the industry. It's got it's Bell Atlantic's BAM, right? And I am outselling everybody. I mean, I'm crushing it, like in the whole Southeast, and there's hundreds and hundreds of people. And this isn't a store, guys. This is B2B sales. So I'm sitting in boardrooms selling BlackBerries when BlackBerries weren't even cool. Like, I'm telling people, this is going to change the world. You will not need your fax machine or your computer. You will be able to access it. They're like, no way. I'm like, no way. And I was selling. I was crushing it. And I had that job, and I was there for almost 5 years, from like 2001 to like 2005. It's like 4.5 years. And I watched people I train time and time again get promoted. I didn't. And I was truthful on that application. But because I had the sales experience at First Union, and I had some sales experience after that at AT&T, I got this job, irrelevant of my no degree. But I wasn't getting promoted. And I wasn't getting promoted because of my age. You know, at the time I was 22, 23 years old, and they were hiring data managers that were crushing it, selling like data packets and stuff. And I wasn't getting promoted because of my age, could have been gender, could have been whatever, dude. There was a mixture of things that I wasn't getting promoted. Clearly I was qualified for the job. Could be gender, race, whatever. I was qualified for the job. I was training people. I was coaching people up. I was crushing it. I just wouldn't get promoted. And I got frustrated. And I had this fire in my belly. And I bet some of you out there, you got fire in your belly too. And you're stuck at this job. And you feel hostage to this job. You feel hostage to the situation. You're handcuffed to the situation of, I got to keep this job because I got to keep these benefits because it's safe. I don't need to win. And I was falling into that cycle of, here I am busting my ass and I'm doing well, but I got nowhere to go. I got nowhere to grow. I got nowhere to move. Things aren't happening. Why? Why aren't I growing? Why aren't I able to take it to the next level? And it's discouraging. And I felt handcuffed. I felt hostage to the situation, to where that fire outdid everything. And I said, you know what? I'm going to bet on me. And I decided to open up a home security company. I took a chance. I bet on me. I took my 401k, a little bit of money I had. I put it in the bank. I hired a flyer team. I put flyers out. I ran appointments when they called. I sold home security systems. I paid installer, put them in. I started from the ground up. I was employee one. I ended up building that business from 2005 to 2012 to doing around $18 million in sales. Took a chance. Built this company up. Crushed it. Bet on me. So scared money don't make money means if you're not willing to take risks, if you're not willing to bet on yourself, how the hell's anyone else going to bet on you? How's anyone else going to believe in you? How is anyone else going to follow you? They won't. You have to have confidence and you have to have assurance of yourself in order for people to follow you. It's the truth. You have to build a culture around there where people can succeed and grow in your business in order for your business to grow. It's true. You can't handcuff them. You can't keep them held hostage to not being able to grow. That's why in all my companies, I've always promoted within 90% of the time. You came in, started here, you moved all the way up in my business. I wasn't hiring from the outside because I gave that career path. I believe people take a job for 3 reasons. 1, they take a job for money. Obviously, people want the job for money. Okay. 2, they take the job because they can see the career growth opportunity. I see that I can get promoted and promoted and promoted. I see other examples of people getting promoted and promoted. You're not held hostage or handcuffed to grow. That's a big one. That was my biggest one. And then 3 is culture. My wife jokes, you're like a cult leader. Everywhere you go, you get them going. They're fired up. I said, that's because I create great culture. The first letters in culture is cult. And so when you create a great culture, it feels like a cult because people are all in. And when you show them they can move up in a company and you show them that they can be part of a mission and you can show them that they have meaning and you can show them that they have a way to change the world and be a part of something great, you have built great culture. And to some, it may seem like a cult because they're not in the culture. They're not in the group. So they feel left out. They're bothered. They're envious. They're jealous. All those things kick in. But scared money don't make money is important because maybe you're in a situation right now and you're like, I can't leave this job because you're held hostage, you're handcuffed. Well, if you don't bet on yourself and you don't take the risk, you'll never know. And the one thing you'll definitely feel like a loser and makes you the loser is having regret. Because if at least you take a shot, you're like, shit, didn't work out, that didn't work out, I got to pivot, figure something else. But at least I tried. You go back years, you don't want to be laying in your deathbed or laying saying, I didn't try, I wish I could have, no. Like I tried to do what I was supposed to do. I tried to take a shot to grow. And I think that's really where scared money don't make money comes in. And I go all the time, I go with, when I opened the solar company, it was like my 3rd company that I opened up. I opened the solar company and first 2 years we didn't make money. And I put all this money into it. And then I sold my dream home and put that money into it. And when we getting a paycheck to like month 18 or 19. And I remember my wife giving me an ugly look. Like, what are you doing? Like, this company is failing. You guys aren't making money. And I said, I love it. I have a vision. I know we're going to make it. She's like, we're struggling. You're selling our house. Like, I was getting the stink eye. But I went back to my roots of scared money don't make money. I thought of my dad. I thought of my pops not taking the chance. I thought of my pops of playing it safe. And look, quitting's not playing it safe, but it kind of is. You're scared of more loss. You're scared of risking it. Again, if you ain't going to risk it, you ain't going to get it. So I stayed in. I stayed grinding. I stayed putting the work in so things can get better. And they did. And you fast forward, we built this $1 billion company. The reputation was the best solar company in the frickin' planet. We won so many awards, like over 50 awards. We put solar on 5 NFL stadiums, 1 Major League Baseball stadium, 1 college stadium. We employed almost 2,400 people. We gave millions and millions to different foundations and philanthropy causes out there. We created jobs. We empowered people to own their power. We did great things. And had I not bet on myself, had I not taken that chance, we wouldn't have. Now, the result, as you know, if you're a follower of mine, listen, it ended with a catastrophic product liability issue that I couldn't control. And that's what I talked about on a previous episode about being the storm. Sometimes things happen out of your control and you've got to learn to be the storm and disrupt things and move on. But you can't be a quitter. You can't let things hold you back. You can't be held hostage in life. You can't not bet on yourself, because scared money don't make money, and you've got to learn to bet on yourself. You've got to learn to have confidence in yourself and take risks. You've got to risk things in order to get results, and that's why people will follow you, and that's why people will believe in you, because you believe in yourself and because you're risking things for yourself. You have to be able to do that, unless you just want to just fade away and be irrelevant. And some of you are okay with being that way. My dad was okay with being that way, and I love him for it. But if you got fire in your belly and you're being held hostage to a job or a relationship that you need to move on from, by God, why are you wasting time? What are you doing? Don't wait. Do it now. Don't do it one day. Make today day one. Like, do it. Quit wasting everybody's time, especially yours, because you don't get it back. I'll finish you with this. I've talked about it before. Sometimes we go down paths of things we want to do. And yeah, you know what, Jayson? I'm scared money don't make money. I'm betting on myself. And you create my own map. I'm making my own opportunity. And being held hostage, screw that. I'm not being held hostage. I'm making systems and redundancy to not fail and handcuffed to a job or handcuffed to certain employees. I got it, Jay. I got it. But you know what? I don't like what people say about me. I don't like what my family says about me. I don't like what my friends say about me. I don't like what neighbors say about me. I don't like what people on social media say about me. Like, it just hurts my feelings and it crushes me. And I spend a lot of time defending myself and explaining myself. And listen, some of you out there doing that, I did that for 90 days. 90 freaking days. I can't get back every day. I was having to defend myself to people because of the Generac closure and the fraudulent stuff they did and the misinformation that came out and the way they handled this and basically destroyed our company and our customers. I defended myself because people were lashing at me. I was easy to blame. I was an easy target. I was the face of the company. And it hurt, and I did this, and my kids saw me doing this, and my wife saw me doing this, and it was like, that's not who I am. I'm not the person to sit there and complain and waste my time on something I can't change. And it hit me. I was struggling. Like I was just getting upset. And I was like defending them. Like, look at this article. Why do they got this many lawsuits? Look, like I just kept on. And I'm still like, I share information, but I don't like sit here and just throw up the stuff I don't need to. But here's what hit home. There was a TikTok that popped up on my feed. And the TikTok was about the donkey and the tiger. And here's how this story goes. So the donkey and the tiger are having a walk. And the donkey says to the tiger, this grass is blue. And the tiger says to the donkey, no, donkey, the grass is green. The donkey says, no, it's not. The grass is blue. And the tiger says, donkey, you might be colorblind. The grass is green. And they're arguing for a few minutes. And the donkey goes, you know what, tiger? Let's go to the lion, the king of the jungle, and see what he says. So they trot on over to see the king of the jungle, the lion. And the donkey jumps up and says, lion, Mr. King of the Jungle, will you please explain here to the tiger that the grass is blue? And the lion says, indeed, the grass is blue. And the donkey says, see, I told you. Lion, can you punish the tiger for arguing with me about the grass being blue? And the lion says to the donkey, I will punish the tiger for that. The donkey says, thank you, and the donkey trots away. The tiger looks at the lion and says, lion, I will take my punishment as you are the king of the jungle. But clearly, sir, the grass is green. And the lion says to the tiger, the grass is green. And the tiger says to the lion, I don't understand why I'm being punished then if the grass is green. And the lion says, you're not being punished because the grass is green. You're being punished because you're a very reputable, honorable animal here in our kingdom. And you have wasted your time and my time arguing with a jackass who believes the grass is blue and will never change its mind. Therefore, you will be punished for wasting your time and my time on that. And so when I saw that clip, it snapped. And I said, by God, I can show people this drink right here, and you could see this wrap, and it's green. And if somebody wants to argue with me and say it's blue and I waste my time in the day trying to prove to them green, I'm wasting my time. And I say this because if our company closed or people think certain things about me and I can't get them to change their mind, I shouldn't have to. I don't have to defend myself to jackasses out there that don't want information, people that just want to hate, people that just want to point fingers, people that just want to push people down, people that just want to believe what they want to believe because they're sheep. I don't have to do that. I don't have to waste my breath, my time, my posting, my energy in defending or trying to tell a jackass a factual from right. Like, I don't have to. Wrong from right, I don't have to. They're not my people. If they don't believe me, fuck them. They're not my people. I'm not going to waste my energy on them anymore. There's no reason to do that. And we all get stuck doing that. And really, it's like, listen, asshole, like, we're not even in the same universe. You know, I was playing around in a Facebook group because a friend of mine owns this huge solar Facebook group. And I go in there and I share the Generac video because I'm getting ready to go on his podcast. So I'm trying to build some reaction for him, help a brother out. And holy moly, like 70 people comment, like 35 are like, dude, I can't believe that happened to you. I'm so sorry. And all of the big solar guys like Sunrun and, you know, all those guys, you know, Titan and, you know, Sonova, ADT Solar, they all like reached out like, dude, I can't believe this happened to you. I'm so sorry. Like, they understand what happened with Generac. But all these small mom pops, donkeys, jackasses that don't understand, and they don't understand how come they can't build their company. So when they see a big company like mine crash and they're like, oh, I knew they did something wrong. That's why they were better than me. No, asshole, I'm better than you because I'm better than you. Because I did things right, because I grew a brand, because I stayed course, because I kept integrity, because I was loyal to my people. That's why I built it. But something out of my realm closed it, and you can blame me if it makes you feel better and it feeds your ego, and that's fine. I'm not wasting my energy trying to convince those jackasses, those morons, differently. My advice to you is to do the same thing. If somebody out there is judging you, complaining about you, painting you out to be something you're not, don't waste your fucking breath. You're just punishing yourself by doing that. You're wasting your energy you can't get back on people that you can't change their mind because they're jackasses. So we're going to end the show with that, okay? Don't be that jackass. Don't be out there. Pay attention, do things right. Make sure that you got scared money, don't make money. You got to invest in yourself, and don't be held hostage to anybody. Bam!